Malvern's priestesses of poetry, Amy, Rainbow and Catherine Crosswell, talk about their first time.
I was terrified. Oh, it was horrible. And I only really did it because you got in free.
My initiation was Smoke and Mirrors, which was the slam that Amy did. I came and met all these Malvern poets.
It was a huge kick, it was a huge buzz. Then a week later got to support it and then the stop broke out. There's a lot of people come to Malvern now to watch poetry and to perform as well. The Smoke and Mirrors poetry nights that Dee and Caitlin put on, they were just really good fun. We had John Cooper Clarke and Ian Macmillan and Attila's come a few times. Yeah, Malvern kind of became quite well known on the poetry scene for having good entertaining nights, and then when Dee and Caitlin decided to stop doing so much, we kind of thought we ought to carry on. Well, we thought someone ought to carry on and realised no one else was going to. So we had to, really, didn't we?
We hadn't got a choice.
Some spoken word events can seem quite dry and you sit in silence, and if you don't like someone and they go on for a long time, there's kind of no escape. And I think it puts a lot of people off, and a lot of people already think they don't like poetry and just wouldn't pay to go to a poetry event, and we wanted to have something where anyone felt welcome, and or they might just come kind of by accident. And I feel like the cabaret theme gets people to come in who might not pay to go to a poetry event.
First ConFab Cabaret was in March this year, and Fort Out Harmony performed at the first one. Braegrin Brothers, Tim Cranmore
and his carrot.
Dolly Grip.
We had Dolly Grip. Kind of couldn't tell if she was a balmy bag lady who'd come in off the street, found herself at a poetry night, or whether she was a performer. But you couldn't ask, because if she was a balmy lady, she would have been really offended.
And we had Spoz. He was our headline act.
He is a former poet laureate from Birmingham. A mix, really, of music and song and humour.
Well, we're hoping eventually to have belly dancing poets and burlesque poets.
I want people to come not knowing what they're going to get, and it's never going to be the same. You know, if you really enjoyed the last one, you'll probably enjoy the next one, but you're still not going to know quite what it's going to be like. We weren't going to have any open mic slots to begin with, but it gives people a chance to have a go. What is the word? Participatory.
Yeah, participatory.
It's a good word.
That is a
We're
word.
poets, we know words. The point of the 2-minute talent is just to get anyone in the audience to come up, whether they're prepared or they just suddenly feel like doing something.
But again, that's part of the participatory nature of the night.
So where does poetic inspiration come from?
The hills, the air.
Food.
She's more foodie than me. Food, men, mostly.
I don't think any of mine about men. Not yet.
But they are. You pretend they're about food.
But I think sometimes when you do find a poem, you have to then ignore your family and write it, because it needs to be written. So for like 2 days, you forget to cook, and you forget to kind of give out clothes in the morning to your children. This was just a normal diary, and I thought it was very pretty. And I didn't actually use it in 2008, and I just thought, what a waste of a lovely book. So when I started to perform, rather than when you've got a piece of paper, when you're standing there shaking, I just decided that I would sort of tape them all into my book, and that way I put all my kind of performance poems inside, and occasionally I find some random stuff that I've written down saying, this one says, "You've got the love, don't much about biology."
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't, but, you know. And
That's
this one
going to be
says,
a poem one day.
"Rubik Cube, gimmick, I can't read my writing. I went to buy, I shall on the tomb." You know, but that's what it says.
You know a lot of your stuff by heart. I know a lot of my stuff by heart, but it's still very, very scary.
I thought I had this poem in my head, and I got up there and I couldn't speak. I couldn't, well, let alone do the poem. I just stood there for about a minute. Poor audience. I mean, I think it was worse for them than it was for me, because I think they thought that was part of it. They thought she was doing something quite radical. But I I scored quite highly.
You can kind of focus, learn for years, study meditation to be able to clear your mind. And all you have to do is get up on stage in front of a few people and it's empty.
It's a form of torture. I think slamming is, but obviously it's a torture that we enjoy, or no, not enjoy. We
Endure.
Yeah, not enjoy.
So why do it?
I had already been asked to support John Cooper Clarke in Malvern, so I wrote a poem about that because that was such a scary thing, being asked to do it. Read out this poem to him that I'd written about the gig that was coming up, and he said that it was the best poem he'd ever heard. And I said, thanks, well, that's amazing. Could you write that down, please? So yeah, I got him to write it down so I could put it in my book. And then he actually asked me to go and support in London. I had my own dressing room, and then, I got to drink beer with him after. It's utterly surreal. That first poetry slam that I nearly didn't go to because it was too scary. You asked why do it? And that's why I do it, because I just think that's, if you push yourself and do scary stuff, you don't know where it's going to go.
Amy's and Catherine's next Confab Cabaret is on Tuesday 24th of September at Recon in Malvern.